Hey guys, how you doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. So yeah, what a day for Bitcoin. It decided to take the bearish direction for today. So over to the charts and we'll have a look. Um, so yeah, as you can see this morning, we were talking about how we were on this candle we were looking at this morning. We were basically wanting to see if we could get back above this 9,500 basically was resistance, but was previously support. Resistance obviously because we were underneath it. So yeah, we're trying to get back above. We were looking like we maybe could, but then we basically didn't, and we kind of capitulated down. So then we kind of played the range out a bit. Played the range out a bit here. Tried to get back up again. Tested the 9,200. Then tried to basically get to the tops, test the old support, new resistance again, and it was indeed resistance. Rejected us, and the second time we definitely didn't have what it takes to hold this 9,200 level. So yeah, then we tried to test that a couple of times, tried to get back above the 9,200, but we were just too weak really. I think if we basically did break and get down to the bottom of here, the bearish case had always been, I think we'd pretty easily break this level, because then we pretty much confirmed a more of a downtrend, which is what I think I said this morning, that we would pretty easily get through that level. And then yeah, the next target is around the mid 8,000s. 8,600 area to 8,500. We've got as I've got as the next support zone. So we're currently in no man's land at the moment in this zone. I mean it doesn't look good, because what I see from this is that we tried to get back up to the support and we couldn't even get back. Tried to get back up to the actual old support, the new resistance. And we couldn't even make it up to test it properly, so we broke down. And again, it looks like we're not even able to get up to this 9,200 level to test it properly, and even maybe consolidate up there and try and get up above, which we're just looking weak. So as it stands, I can't see us not testing the 8,600 now at least. And then yeah, and we basically started a pretty it's a pretty confirmed downtrend now. So yeah, I mean, a best case is obviously we can get supported down here, then start to make our way up, maybe play this range out a bit. This is quite a nice wide range if you look at it compared to some of the others that we've been playing in. This is well yeah, 8,600 to basically nearly 9,200 we'll call it. So it's a $600 range. So this is not a bad area for us traders out there to be trading in, because yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of range here. We're not like up here when we're pretty stuck, we're pretty squashed between ranges here. So yeah, it was a bit difficult, a bit more difficult to trade there, to actually pick out trends and directions. Like you guys know, with my my larger time frame dominator indicator, when I'm trying to basically say, is this telling me the right trend, the right direction? Because it's just flip-flopping around. But now we've got some direction, we can look at our oscillators as well to use those for bounces. And yeah, I mean, I think we're just going to play this range out. I think it's going to take a bit more. It's going to take a bit more time if we're going to break down this level and get down to this next one, and then potentially the one below, which is around 7,300, 7,200. That would be where we would need to start making some moves, start making some upward moves. Because if we start to then take these lows out, well, yeah, I mean, if we start to take out, yeah, if we take this out and then start to take these lows out, then there's a bit of an air gap, and yeah, and all that happens is we're just making a move again for the bottom of the pennant. So I mean, in the bigger scheme of things, that's not obviously the worst scenario, but it'll be pretty well, it won't be catastrophic. Would be not what we want to see really. We just kind of want to at least get picked up by one of these support areas, and then curl our way back up. I mean, maybe we will get down to around the 7,000 level, or maybe the 7,200 level. maybe sort of print a head and shoulder, an inverted head and shoulders of sorts. I mean, this is a pretty it's a pretty pointy head. If you ask me, but yeah, it will still, if we do basically start to make our way around, then I do think that would actually be a good formation to get us through the end of the pennant and just break us through all this, because we'll have the head and shoulders formation. We will then obviously with a target to basically push us up. What I would probably do, because obviously when we know with this sell-off here, BitMEX had problems with its liquidation engine, which basically was going to drive the price to zero if they didn't turn it off. So maybe this bottom should maybe have come in around here, so, and it wouldn't have been so pointy. So maybe this will, if you sort of X this off, just because of the reasons why it did this, and it even is not respecting our pennant, again because of the technical reasons that BitMEX was having. So you could sort of draw this as a pretty nice head and shoulders, assuming we come down to here and go back up, and then obviously if you break the neckline, break the end of this pennant, we're at the point of the pennant where you would expect to break it. There's a high likelihood of breaking it either up or down, which then does bring us to the fact that we could just come to the bottom and break down. So we can't obviously take that off the table. But I'm actually talking about if we reverse around the middle. So obviously if you come to the bottom, we're clearly not having a head and shoulders, and that's an entirely different scenario we're looking at. But if we do get this inverse head and shoulders, I think that will finally be what gives us the momentum to break through. And I have also said to you guys that this move all the way up from here in a straight line isn't necessarily the move that you would expect to break us through all this resistance and then just carry on going up again basically in a straight line, purely because we need some form of larger time frame consolidation of this up move. So maybe come down to here and then regain our upwards momentum. It's quite unhealthy for an overall trend. And I mean, whilst it might be great, yeah, we'll just push and push and push up, but I think that would set us up for a massive fall. So if we can, I mean, I don't like the word organic price action, but because I mean it doesn't grow. I mean, we're not going to get out some plant food. If it was organic price action, I'll just go down to the shop and get some Miracle Grow, and then we'd all be millionaires because I'll just start chucking it all over the charts. But it's just, see, this is what happens at the end of the day when my brain is frazzled and I've just been sat at the desk for like 14 hours, and I start talking rubbish. But yeah, basically it wouldn't be normal price action for us to keep just come all this low all the way through, keep going up and up and up in a sustainable fashion to the moon. Basically I think what we do need is some sort of retracement. I think we may have started a bit of a downtrend here. I mean, on this 2 days doesn't look that bad. On the weekly we've had worse candles than this on the weekly as well, clearly here, so it doesn't necessarily look as bad. But if we do look at the trend on the daily, it does look like we are gonna start at least a bit of downside. I mean, if we do want to put in a higher low on this daily, I mean, this is the last main one. So if we do get supported here or even here, I mean, like I said, it's a no man's zone, but we can still just start to go back up from here. I mean, it's possible. I mean, look, we clearly got supported at an important level here last time. Obviously, bar the wicks. I mean, the wicks came down to another important level, but the bodies got caught at the levels. So the levels are an important place for price action to basically be reversed from. And obviously as long as you've got good levels that are basically efficacious, levels that basically do line up with basically previous price action. Obviously if you draw them in just ridiculous places, then they're obviously going to have like not really much relation to price action. But yeah, so what I'm saying is, I mean, I mean, this is a daily candle. I mean, we could still, how long have we got left in this candle? We've still got another 3 hours left in this candle. If we could get back above the 9,200, which is only about $150 away, it's not miles away, then we could start to look like this with the wicks below, the nice long wicks below. Nice, however you, I don't know if you might not think they're nice, but these long wicks below, and we can get back over. Then maybe we'll test down again, another daily candle, get us down, and then close back over. And then we can get supported here. I mean, that still doesn't look bad, and obviously you can see we've got a very clear trend line, a very clear. I mean, you don't often see trend lines quite this clear, in all fairness, and this is looking pretty good, and this is what we're testing. So I mean, you could call this a rising channel. You could, well, it is a rising channel, so you could call it that. In which case we could drop out of the channel, and then well, I mean, the target is is the mid 5,000s area. I mean, anywhere around here is the target if we break out that, or if you could try and make a wedge out of it. Either way, if we fall out of it, but we've not fallen out of it yet. We're only testing this trend line. We've got this is good horizontal support around this zone, especially this here. So it does look to me like we could be supported here. I mean, today obviously was a bad day for the price of Bitcoin, but we have had days like this before. I mean, we've had absolutely catastrophic moves in Bitcoin that have then basically been all recovered pretty much. So yeah, if you just look at it in the wider context of what's going on, just look at this trend line. Look at the support we've got. Look at our previous low. It still is not the worst looking thing. What is maybe not looking so good though, is the trend in go away, arrow. Do you know what? Can I just delete it? Obviously I can just delete it, but there we go. What else is not looking maybe so good? As you can see, this daily Stokes is now moving down, and we've had a pretty what now looks like a pretty obvious rejection of the exponential moving average for the RSI, and now moving back down again. On the weekly, it's probably will not look so bad. Obviously, RSI is coming down on the weekly though now, and we may look to be topping out in this formation here. So we've sort of got a bit of a trend lines that we can draw on here, which don't give us they potentially give us room to maneuver. This is obviously looking pretty scrunched up, but if I zoom this out a bit, you can kind of see what's going on here. So what I mean, we could roll over and come down, try and test this now, this trend line in this stochastic, or we could keep coming up and try and test the top. That will obviously remain to be seen. But that's what I'm saying is these are looking a bit like we are gonna have a bit of a trend down. Although the 12 hour is pretty strong, has moved quite a lot. I'm surprised at how far that's already moved down. 12 hour been one of the better 12 hour Stokes been one of the best indicators of direction for Bitcoin. So if we can get this bottomed out and start to move back up again, I think that would actually be very positive for the price. So yeah, 4 hour Stokes obviously getting oversold, and if I look at the 1 hour, they're going to be, they're looking like they're maybe going to want to come and try some upside. So it is a case of, if we can as soon as possible, I need to keep locking these tools, as soon as we can regain this around 9,200 level, so our daily candle doesn't quite look so bad. With only a tail under, like we had only the tails down to this lower support, and then the body's basically closing at this support level. So hopefully that can happen there. Right, so over to the trades. I'll have to admit I didn't actually take any of the short trades today, because there's no real explanation other than I just didn't want to go short. I should have stuck to my plan. I should have stuck to my thing. All that has messed up my trading recently has just been the wicks and the things that have happened. The CME gap, the BitMEX messing up my chart, messing up my indicators. I mean, if BitMEX hadn't, I don't like to sound like I'm just making excuses, but if BitMEX hadn't sort of messed up my indicators, which I knew then turned this which was helping turn this larger time frame to a sell. When it did turn to a sell, I would have been more confident in it and then just started taking the short trades like I should have done. But because of that, I didn't. So I mean, things happen sometimes when you're trading that just affect what the judgment and what you're looking at. And this is just one of those things for me, really. I can't really justify it. There's no justification. I'm just giving you the reason of why I didn't take these shorts, because I've just been affected by the wicks. The wicks down have been affecting my indicator, because I trust this indicator. I trust the strategy. It works, and I know it works over time. But then I also do know if we get scam wicks down in the chart, not that they're necessarily scam wicks, but they are basically scam wicks, a CME gap close and then basically rallying back up, a BitMEX dump down. I know these are inputs into my indicator, and I know those inputs are then so I know there's like my indicator's tainted. Do you know what I mean? So that did make it difficult for me to trust it. So, and obviously, you know, from my other TA, like legitimate TA that I've shown you guys, that I am relatively bullish. It's not just hopium bulltard TA. It's just exactly what is showing on the higher time frames. So it did make me a bit reluctant taking these sells, but so because of that I didn't. But either way, would have got a great sell here on this candle, which then did pretty much take us down over 1%. Never really went offside any significant amount, and then just came down more. So basically it would have stayed in the trade from that one. I mean, you could have sold on this one here, and then we basically came down. You wouldn't have got stopped out. I mean, my stop is basically 1.6%. I'll tell you guys that. So even if I was in the candle there, 1.6% was still basically, I mean, we didn't even get close to the top of there. So you would still be in the sell trade if you took it there, and then if you took the sell trade here, I mean, price never looked back then either. And then we do well. Now we're flip-flopping around, buy selling. So definitely not time to jump into a trade now. But yeah, so that's basically what has happened with Bitcoin today. So like I said, you know what we've got to do. You know what the bulls have got to do to prove themselves, to give us some hope, and that will be to close this daily candle in 3 hours, 3 hours above 9,200 basically. If we don't do that, if we don't even make it to anywhere near, if we don't make it anywhere near to 9,200, and we start to pull back down again, I think then it's certain that we're heading for at least here around the 8,600. That in my mind, that much will be certain. Nothing certain in trading. This is not financial advice, but yeah, that will be the rejection that sees us come down. In much the same way, if we look at the hour time frame, when you don't really, if you don't basically get back up and you show the weakness, you then come down. So then this is quite a simple trading tactic for you guys. People often, they won't buy the breakout, they'll buy the retest, or they won't buy the breakdown, they won't sell the breakdown, they'll sell the retest, and that is basically what it is a proven strategy. So these guys, they didn't sell the breakdown, and then they waited for the retest. Once the retest started to break down, sell, and then again basically they didn't then, so they may have taken profits before this breakdown, they may have just stayed in the trade. But if you were in the trade, you were then like, well, I'm basically going to wait for the retest. The retest doesn't come in, then sell. And obviously we've got this candle here, but this is potentially on the shorter time frame. It's a tweezer bottom, so we could use that now to keep moving, get us back up with 9,200, and then we could turn around these 12-hour stochastics, which would be good for price too. So it's not all over yet. The war is not lost. We've got that major trend line coming in from all the way down there. We're still obviously in this upward channel, so we can still stay in that upward channel. We work pretty much the most staunch resistance that we're going to have in Bitcoin, and basically at any point before 20k. I mean, this is it. It's either we get past here, we're basically going to new highs. If we get, well, I say if we get past here, then through here, then here, but obviously this is the harder spot. If we get past here, it's likely we'll get through here, and then likely we'll get through there. So if we do all that, then it's likely we'll get to 20k. But this is where we're going to struggle. So it makes perfect sense for us to have to put up a real fight, the bulls, if we're going to get through. But at the moment, it's still not looking bad. It's still not looking bad for us, guys. Obviously, breaking this trend line and then coming back towards the bottom of the pennant is obviously not good. Clearly not good. But even if we break the trend line, come down to around here, start to curl back up again, then yeah, I mean, maybe that'll be where we can take out this this pennant and break out this pennant, and then yeah, like I said, the sky's the limit. Anyway, so yeah, sorry if I rambled on a bit long there, guys. That's everything that I wanted to get off my chest. But yeah, like I said though, indicator worked perfectly, like literally perfectly. Would have got you in this trade. You could have ran it as long as you wanted to, with whatever risk management you were using. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily, yeah, I mean, you could have taken this buy here, but I mean, price flip-flopping around, so I didn't take it. I think I said that in this morning's video, because that was before this morning. Yeah, that was last night, so that was before last night I said that I didn't take that. But anyway, so yeah, so remember, not a financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, guys, and I will speak to you tomorrow morning.